Shalom, Kol Yahweh Shemi Hoshai B'Hashem Dash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, the Aquath that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,001 the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother Yashawan back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here. Joel 3 and 2. In the King James, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Now, in the NIV, I will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. The valley of Jehoshaphat is in Israel, but it's talking about the Middle East, if you will, or Eastern Asia, or Salakia, Western Asia, what they call the Valley of they call it the Middle East. All right. NLT says, I will gather the armies of the world. Who are the armies of the world? Well, if you have a nation that has an army, you're going to be gathered together in the Middle East, right, for that last battle. All right, so let's take a look at that. Navarra Media, this is happening right now. I wanted to just click on this and let them give the update. We'll watch a little bit of it and we'll give some commentary and see where it goes. It's live, so here we go.
On Arca and a causeway for it to be driven on shore. The question is then, what? Most of Gaza's population, most of whom have been displaced several times over, are not concentrated at the beach. Right? So you get the food to the beach, they're mostly not on the beach. Who is going to distribute it? Asked Jeremy Konyndyk. He's a former senior aid official in the Biden administration and now president of the Refugees International Aid Advocacy Group. So he added this: the aid organization's presence in northern Gaza is pretty close to zero because the Israelis have wanted everyone out and then have been restricting access to the north ever since. So the Guardian write, the proposed maritime aid corridor, Konyndyk said, doesn't obviate the problem of obstruction by Israel, but rather than being a problem at the entry point, now it's going to be a problem at the distribution stage. You need drivers that don't exist, trucks that don't exist, feeding into a distribution system that doesn't exist, he added. It's a really, really significant problem. Yes, you might be able to dump all of this food on the beach, but there are 2 million people living in Gaza right now. You want them all to sort of make their way to the beach in a presumably a very disorganized fashion to try and share out this food. Right? That is not how a properly managed aid network or an aid system works. And the International Rescue Committee, who know a lot about this, right? They're also not impressed by Biden's announcement. So they told Al Jazeera this: Palestinians in Gaza need a sustained ceasefire, and they need it now. A temporary pier that could take weeks to construct or airdrops is not a solution. Now, as for airdrops, on Monday's show, we discussed the problem with airdrops of aid by the Americans, and the amount delivered was only small. So on Monday, only a total of 38,000 meals for a population were dropped for a region where over 2 million people are, where over 2 million people are on the brink of starvation. So it's dropped in the ocean. There was also no plan for distribution, much like with this pier plan. And there's been a grim new development. So Al Jazeera is reporting that 5 Palestinians have now been killed by airdropped aid. The Gazan Health Ministry has said this occurred when the parachutes attached to aid parcels failed. And this footage has been released. And you can just see how chaotic and almost sort of apocalyptic these scenes look, where you've got these very heavy aid packages falling rather quickly from the sky. So you can see how that's incredibly dangerous for anyone there who's desperately, trying to get their hands on these food parcels because they and their family are starving. So really, really dystopian.
Wow. What did we just watch? That's crazy. All right. So, yeah. What does that bring to mind for me? It brings this to mind. Let's go. Wow. Yeah, we're going to get this and we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Let's see. See if I can Remember, okay, second Ezra 16. And, yeah. Um, let's start right here. Second Ezra 16:17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days is a question that Ezra is asking because he's given this vision. He's like, damn, it's all jacked up. And then he gives you some of what he's seeing: the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. What's going on over in Gaza right now? Right? Or anywhere in that area. Famine, right? And great death. The beginning of wars, and the people shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? I'm going to jump down here to 22. Second Ezra 16:22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and others, and the other that escape the hunger, right, shall the sword destroy. Crazy. Whatever we just watched there, right? Those that do fight, when they fight over this food, if it doesn't kill you on the way down, right? Well, you're going to be killed with small arms fire, or, when they come through and pop some white phosphorus or
Killed by airdropped aid. The Gazan Health Ministry has said this occurred when the parachutes attached to aid parcels failed. And this footage has been released, and you can just see how chaotic and almost sort of apocalyptic these scenes look, where you've got these very heavy aid packages falling rather quickly from the sky. So you can see how that's incredibly dangerous.
Or the people scrambling. Can you imagine? They're that hungry. What are they going to do? Are they going to share? Okay. Or what state are they in? Are they next to cannibals? What are they doing over there right now? It's just all crazy. All right. So anyway, yeah. Where's the virgins? Second Ezra 16:33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right. Anyway, so we'll end it right there. We can see that these things are going down. It's not turning around. Okay. It's World War III. All right. And the sooner you put your thinking cap on and understand that this ain't going nowhere, you got to go through it. All right. You have to go all the way through it. You rapture specialists, you're going to be disappointed. Anyway, with that, we hope that the elect were edified, you brothers and sisters, with that shalom.